Good afternoon. Welcome to the Civil Service Commission meeting. Today is Tuesday, April the 30th, 2019, and the time is 4 o'clock. We'll start off with roll call.
Chairperson Dolores Rodriguez.
Present.
Vice Chairperson Mario Liscano.
Present.
Board Member Vittorio Puente.
Present.
We do have a quorum, so we'll continue with our regular agenda. We'll go on to item 8, approval of minutes for Tuesday, March 26, 2019.
I'd like to make a move. I'd like to make a
Motion.
motion to approve the minutes for Tuesday, March 26, 2019.
Second the motion.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any comments? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 And the minutes have been approved as written. We'll go on to item B, consideration and action, if any, approving and accepting the raw and final scores from the promotional exam administered for engineer, fire inspector for the fire department on Thursday, April 18th, 2019. Melanie?
Good afternoon, board members. In your packets, you will find the memo with the raw and final scores. 13 individuals tested and 1 passed, and staff recommends approval.
I make a motion, we go with staff recommendation to approve scores as presented.
I have a motion. Do I hear a second?
I second that motion.
A motion and a second. Any other comments? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 And this motion carries. We'll go on to item C, consideration and action, if any, approving and accepting the eligibility list from the promotional exam administered for engineer, fire inspector for the fire department on Thursday, April 18th, 2019. Sonali?
Yes, board members, also in your packet, you will find the memo for the eligibility list with 1 name, Rudy Hernandez, and staff recommends approval.
So move.
Have a motion. Do I hear a second?
I second it.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 And this motion carries. We'll go on to item D. Consideration and action, if any, approving and accepting the raw and final scores from the promotional exam administered for sergeant for the police department on Tuesday, April 30th, 2019. Annalee?
Yes, board members, also in item D, you will find the packet, 11 individuals tested and 3 passed, and staff recommends approval.
I make a motion, we go ahead and accept the recommendation by staff to approve the 3 that have passed for the promotional exam.
I have a motion on the floor. I hear a second.
I second that motion.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 And this motion carries. We'll go on to item E. Consideration and action, if any, approving and accepting the eligibility list from the promotional exam administered for sergeant for the police department on Tuesday, April 30th, 2019.
Yes, board members, you will find in your packet the eligibility list with the 3 individuals passing, Daniel Garcia, Jorge Guerra, Juan Alvarez, and staff recommends approval.
Okay.
So move.
I have a motion. Do I hear a second?
I second that motion.
Motion and a second. No comments. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 And this motion carries. We'll go on to item 3, administrative reports. May I hear from the chiefs?
Good afternoon.
Good
Thank
afternoon.
you, first and foremost, for the opportunity here. Thank you, God, for giving us all the opportunity to be here. So I come to you excited, motivated, dedicated. Every month is we just go another level. And the reason why I feel like that right now is because, as you were able to hear right now from Ms. Alanis, is we had the opportunity to have the test for sergeant, and we had 3 individuals pass the test. Awesome, great feeling. But I also, aside from that, I wanted to take the opportunity to introduce to you the gentleman, Mr. Daniel Garcia, which is going to be our newly promoted sergeant here coming up pretty soon. So if you please will indulge me and give me a couple minutes or seconds here to introduce you to him. But I also got another motivated officer, Claudia Rodriguez, which I think in our last meeting I had kind of mentioned that I wanted to introduce you to her as well. But without further ado, I would like to bring them up and just have them introduce themselves to you, if that's okay, board members.
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Daniel Garcia. As everybody knows me, AK Smiley. I've been with the department for about 17 years, and well, today I took the exam, and I'm happy to report that I did very well. So I'm proud of myself, and I'm getting ready for my new journey with the Pharr Police Department. Hopefully, it'll be a long one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Claudia Rodriguez, and like Chief said, just recently passed the SWAT training, and pretty much.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Congratulations. I know that you're familiar faces, and we look forward to seeing you in the community, and we know that you're going to be doing great.
Yes.
Thank you.
In our community, we can always appreciate more smiles, and it looks like you both have some great ones. So keep shining.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. So just to add a quick footnote to Ms. Rodriguez, she did attend a 1-week course, SWAT school type preparation at Hidalgo County. She was able to meet all the standards and expectations of what was expected of her. And just again, to add one more, it is our first female in the Pharr Police Department Emergency Response Team. So we're super, super happy for her, for our diversification that we have at the PD. And so if you may, I just want to say congratulations to both of our officers, and thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
I want to move on to the next item that I have here, and really we're just continue to work on some of the equipment that we're upgrading at the PD. And that includes, again, I think I had mentioned it a little bit on the last meeting, our body cameras, technology stuff that we're looking at. Aside from that, we're working diligently in here, coming up on the week of May 13th to the 17th, which is going to be Police Memorial Week. You will be receiving an invitation. All civil service board members and anybody and everybody that works with the PD is more than welcome to attend our ceremony, which is going to be on May 14th. But aside from that, we're so happy at the PD because for the last 3 opportunities that we had to promote, we've had somebody pass the test, which was our Lieutenant earlier, Ed Rodriguez, Leo Munoz, and now Sergeant Daniel Garcia. And really, it's just indicative of the success that we're trying to build at the PD. You build the environment to succeed, and people will rise to the occasion, and just exactly like Ms. Rodriguez and Mr. Garcia did. Aside from that, thank you so much for everything, board, and we appreciate everything. Unless you have any questions that you might have for me or any suggestions, I'm all ears.
Thank you, Chief. Any questions for the Chief from the committee?
Well, one question, Chief, on the test scores, the final test scores from the raw for sergeant. It's a huge discrepancy between the 85 on the final and the 62. Is that just an indication of the quality of the candidates for the position, or are they exposed to the same materials? What do you attribute to that big difference?
No, perfect question, sir. Perfect question. And so, I'm a firm believer of, speaking for yourself.
Yes.
And I can speak for myself and the way I like to do things and the way I do things. Now, I'm not saying because the score is 65 that one person is better than the other. It just so happens that maybe somebody has different ways or methods of maybe getting prepared. But as we try to tell the officers at the PD, preparation is very important. Mm-hmm. And so what you put in is what you're going to get out. But again, perfect question, sir. And so right now, my passion, I would just like to key in on the 3 guys that passed, including the 2 previous individuals that passed.
Any other questions for the Chief?
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you so much. Appreciate
Thank
it. God
you,
bless.
sir.
Good afternoon, Commission.
Good afternoon.
My name is Jacob Salinas. I'm the Fire Marshal for the Fire Department. I'm here in place for Chief Perez that wasn't able to make it today. Like y'all mentioned earlier, we did have one individual that it passed the engineer inspector test. We're looking forward to promoting him as soon as possible. We do have currently 4 other positions for the same rank as the engineer still to fill up. And hopefully this next time around, we will have them filled up. We also have one of our civilian fire inspectors retired last week, which was Eduardo Lugo, and that opened up one sole source position in the fire department, which is the rank of engineer inspector. We also have one current position for new firefighter that we are working with a top candidate on the list on the background at this time to go forward. Station 4 at this time is about 90% complete. Basically, what's missing is the outside apron for the trucks to go around and the public and the firefighters parking at the outside of the station. Pretty much the inside is pretty much complete. And that's pretty much what I have right now. Again, Chief Pettit was not able to make it, so I apologize on that part. But if you have any questions,
Any questions for Mr. Salinas? Thank you, sir.
okay, thank you. Yeah, have a good evening.
You too.
We don't have any other administrative reports. We'll go on to item 4, civil service comments. No civil service comments, so we'll go on to civil service director's reports.
The only two things to report, and I think I had already announced them back in our previous meetings, we do have a fire engineer promotional exam coming up on May 31st and fire lieutenant on July 10th. And those are the only things we have scheduled right now.
Any questions for Annalie? If there are no questions, we'll go on to item 6. There being no items for the closed sessions, we'll go on to item 8, adjournment.
I make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
I have a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
I'd like to second that motion.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 And this meeting is adjourned, time being 4:11. Thank you for your attendance.
Thank you.